Hey, what's up everybody? Johnface Moto here. I just wanted to say thank you to all the new subscribers real quick. We hit that 1,000, growing, going on to 50,000, 100,000. Let's go. Today's video, as you know by the title, is the output speed sensor on a F253, 54, 55, 50. It's a 2006. They changed it up a little bit, I think, in 2001 with the sensor location on the transmission. This is the output one. It's right at the top of the rear of the transmission. You got to reach up. You probably have about maybe 2.5 inches to 3 inches of workable space between the top of the tunnel and the actual transmission. It's a really shitty location as far as the engineering of it. They obviously don't want people working on it, or whatever reason they have it, but it's hard to get to basically. What you gotta do is I just jacked up the front of the truck, just ran up on some ramps, put obviously chalk block it, safety first, do all that stuff. Set your parking brake, put some jack stands, all that stuff. Just to be clear. So my sensor went bad. Actually, I bought the truck, and the guy told me, he's like, the sensor's bad, telltale signs, the shift points were kind of off when you're driving. There's a few different things that it affects. Your speedometer sometimes stops working, whatever. So it's a new truck for me, so I'm going to change out most of the sensors if there's any issues. The guy told me, he's like, I got the sensor, I just didn't get around to changing it out. So when I bought the truck, I was like, alright, no big deal. Rest of the truck was good to go. So I bought the truck, brought it home, started doing work on it, went to go change the sensor, and lo and behold, the sensor was snapped off inside the actual port that it sits in. So the plug, the harness was hanging off, and I reached up because you can't see it. So I reached up, I felt it with my finger, and I could feel that the plug was still in there. So that's pretty much where we're at. I got no way to send a drill up there. Minimal space, so I'm out there thinking that I can just maybe somehow get a screw in it, and then put like a bar or like a cat's paw or something up there and pry it out. That was day one. So basically I did that. I sprayed some WD-40 on it. Didn't work. Didn't really do anything. It wasn't getting much. So that was a frustrating first day. Second day, did a little bit more research. There wasn't a whole lot of information about this. Most of the stuff, any sensor, broke off sensors you see, the videos that did, different vehicles, or they got the side mounted sensors, and they're really accessible. And you guys just drill them out and pull them out with a pick, a little at a time. So that that was helpful, but it wasn't at the same time because mine's on the top, so it's super hard to get to. So what I did is first off I went out and bought some PV Blaster, put the WD-40 aside. This stuff right here, I've been using this stuff forever, but for whatever reason, if I don't run out, I always go for the WD-40. It's different stuff. If you have something that's stuck, get the PV Blaster. So soak the thing down with PV Blaster, and I left it there overnight. I actually went out and bought a attachment for my drill, which was this little right angle, low profile right angle attachment for the for whatever drill, but DeWalt makes this one. It was like 24 bucks. Super low profile. Accepts a impact bit. And when I went out and I bought these, I bought one. This is all purchased at Lowe's. This is a small grinding stone with the impact. And then I also picked up one of these bad boys right here, which is a grinding, it's like a rasp style, and it's conical, which is very important in this application. And once again, it's got the impact shaft, 1/4 inch. So what I did was I used that, and I got it up there, and I drilled down. What I would do is I would get up there, drill. You can barely fit this thing in there, but it fits in. I drill out about you know, a little bit at a time. Then I hook up my vacuum cleaner with a little piece of a small piece of tubing to suck up any dust or any grinding. I just put a little duct tape and a little bit of, this is an air hose off a compressor, just enough to get it around the whole area. So what I would do is I would drill, vacuum, soak it down with PB Blaster, and let it sit for a few minutes, and then repeat the process. Drill a little, vacuum, and then soak. And this was day 2, so I for a while I gave up. I was so frustrated. I could feel the plug with my finger, and once I started using this method with this mostly the rasp conical bit, that was the money right there. That did the job. So I just kept going down as far as I could. I buried it. I was nervous about going too far, but it's a pretty long sensor, so you can't, even if you bury it, it's not gonna penetrate through all the way and do anything. But I just did that, and you know, working on it, and then as soon as I felt an edge with my fingernail, I got a small, like, because you have 0 space up there, so I got like a finish nail, like a 2.5 inch finish nail, and I filed it down so it was kind of like a sharp, flat, almost like a little mini pry bar, and I just caught the edge, and I started working the edge a little bit at a time. Then I'd stop, I'd vacuum it out, soak it with PBR Blaster, repeat the process again. Just kept picking at it a little bit, working the edge, and then as soon as I could feel it, I felt the plug start wiggling a little bit, and I was like, I knew I was just about there. It took forever though, but I wasn't gonna bring it to a shop because they probably would have dropped the transmission. It would have been $1,000 just for a goddamn, you know, $30, $20 sensor. So this trick worked mint. I mean, there's not really any information on the top sensor. Everybody's like, no, you gotta drop it, man. You gotta drop it. Get in there and pound it up. Blah blah blah. You don't. All right. I'm just here to tell you. The plug. I mean, this was like, I might just drill a hole in this thing and wear it around as a necklace, because this thing was such a bear to get out that I don't know, this is like a prized possession right now. I'm just so happy to get it out. So if you're in the same situation, just, you know, the drill attachment was like $24 at Home Depot. They didn't have the for whatever reason they didn't have the little grinding bit, the rasp bit at Home Depot. I went to Lowe's, they had it there, so I grabbed that. I grabbed that little grind and stone one too. I think that helped out a little bit, but I think majority of the work was done by the rasp, because it made that little cone definitely important to get the cone so you can get in there, and it relieves. Once you get past that, there's a little retention, like a little O-ring. Once you get past that point, I think that's where it all happens. Like it releases it. But the PBR blast is like, that stuff is awesome. I don't know what's in it, but it works so good. Definitely don't waste your time with like using any other oils or WD-40 or all that stuff. Just use the penetrating oil, PB Blaster. Let it soak overnight before you even start messing with it. The longer the better. But that's just a little, a little tip. I'm just wanted to share my experience, because I'm sure there's lots of people out there in the same boat, and they're just kind of frustrated, and they end up giving up and bringing it to a shop, and it costs you a ton of dough. It doesn't have to cost you a ton of dough. You just got to be persistent, and just stay at it, and don't give up. You'll get it. And this is all what I did, so I'm not saying if you do this, you're at your own risk. You're dealing with, transmission and stuff like that on, these vehicles are expensive. So whatever car you have, if you do this worked for me. So if you're in the same jam and you need some, some guidance, this is on you at your own risk. I'm not responsible for anything damaged. So if you do this, you're at your own risk. But it worked out for me. The little vacuum trick, there was nothing fell inside or anything that caused any damage. It was just the stuff is like made out of whatever this sense is made out of. It's not like a soft plastic. Like this stuff is like, I don't know what it is, but it's super dense, and I mean the grinding drill, the rasp had a hard time going through it. It was super hard stuff. So it's not like you're gonna like just fly through it and it's gonna fall inside and screw things up worse. This stuff is super hard to get out, and it's only coming out through the top. So chance of you pushing it down inside is pretty much not gonna happen. So don't worry about that too much. Just take your time, drill a little bit at a time, grind it out, remove the material with the vacuum, and just PBR blast it, boom boom, just soak it in, and then repeat the process over and over again until you get all the bit all the way buried down, and then you can start working that edge. You'll feel the edge, and just do that, and then you'll be money right there. But once again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Give it a like, throw a comment my way. That helps out the algorithm in YouTube. And we'll see you on the next video. Take it easy. Have a good day.